everyone, back with another Boss RC-600 tutorial. In today's video I'm going to discuss the relatively new patch that went out where they actually made the loop sync feature useful, especially if you're in single mode and you play in single mode. Before I begin, just a quick update of why I haven't made a video in a while. I had a bunch of health issues this summer, starting off with I had a 1,200-pound cart fall on my leg and smash it. So I was in the hospital. I had to kind of like relearn how to walk for a little bit. That took about a month to recover from that. Then I got second-degree burns and sun poisoning, and then I got mono for about another month, and then I got infected tonsils that were so bad I had trouble breathing. So yeah, it's been a fun one. Anyway, but I'm back, and I'm very excited to jump into the RC-600 again, especially with its new features that make it way more user-friendly and way more useful for me. So what we're going to be talking about today is going to be, if you go into loop, then you go under your tracks, you go over 2 pages. We got this one here. It says loop length. The default setting it's going to be on is it's under the loop sync mode, and the default setting will be loop length. That's how the RC-600 performed before, and if you just needed a quick reminder, basically what it would do is it would sync all of your loops together on the same clock, essentially, and it basically made it useless if you played any songs where they didn't have the same exact length chorus and the same exact length verse. So if you had for example, if you had a 4-bar verse and you had like a 6-bar or so chorus, what would happen is you would switch over the first time and it would play through the 6 bars, but then you'd switch back and it would be on like bar 2 or 3 of your verse for no reason. It would, because they just ran in tangent with one another. It was super annoying. So the song that I think is pretty easily demonstrates this is Santeria, because Santeria has a bit of a longer chorus than the verse, and it's one of my favorite songs to play, and it was so infuriating to try and play it with this RC-600 before the patch. So, just as a refresher, here we got our verse, and I'll play the chorus real quick. Sorry if the camera moves it a little bit. I'm like trying to play with between my legs. You can see the circles here are not really lining up because this one's finishing before that one, and now it's going off. Yeah, and now we're in verse 2. Yeah, so like, we're in like the 3rd bar of the verse. Okay, and now if I want to switch back to my chorus, right? Oh, this might actually sync up correctly. We're like a bar behind, or ahead, I guess. Yeah, so you can see it's just a nightmare. But now with the new feature, if I go here and go over 1, loop length, and if I set it to measure, and then I also have to set my other track, and just you can see it's 7 measures long. As opposed to, if we go to track 1 again, scroll through, it's 4. Yeah, so that's like a no bueno for it. It doesn't really like that. But if I, oh, by the way, if you hit loop, I don't know if I said this before, but it will scroll through your tracks real quick. If I go and I set that to measure, then it should work, because then it's just going by its measure clock, so that way it's just syncing per measure. Up because it recorded in loop sync mode. So let me just re-record that. just record the chorus real quick. It should work this time because now it's actually recorded correctly as well. Yep, there we go. And then, if after this chorus I want to switch back into my verse, it'll actually play the verse at the beginning. What a crazy concept, I know. Here we go, moment of truth. There we go. Works like a charm. Yeah, so it's much better. I actually have gigged with this. I gigged with it last week. I had my first gig back since all of my calamities over the summer, and worked really well. Didn't really have any hiccups with it, other than things that were user error because I'm still not quite used to it yet, and just figuring some things out. I had a song. I had Danny California. I was recording, and I just recorded like 2 bars too many or something, and so I had a little bit of a hiccup there. But other than that, I can't say anything bad about the machine now. It works really well. Most of it is just kind of figuring out some kinks that are, partly my fault, especially with like levels and stuff. But I really like the RC-600. Before, back when I was making videos on this previously, I don't think I could have recommended it to people because it just had too many flaws and you had to do too many workarounds, and it wasn't really, at least to me, viable for what the kind of stuff I was trying to do with like verse chorus stuff. Now, 100% would recommend go and get it. It's if you can afford it, if you need it, I use it. I have used it for live productions, and I've been fine. It's been great. So yeah, I am going to see what other comments I've been scrolling through. I saw them while I was in my multiple recoveries, and so I'm gonna hopefully be able to answer most of you guys' questions in shorter videos. Than this one, hopefully. But this one I just needed to really like demonstrate what was going on. Alright, see ya.